He's America's coolest conservative and the future king of talk radio. 107.9 FM WBT presents The TJ Ritchie Show. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, your man is on the air everywhere. It is time for unapologetic, in-your-face conservatism. Oh, I know I complained about those basketball games, those coaches shows and stuff, taking up half my show and all that, but I ain't gonna lie. I kind of missed it tonight. I was rushing to get on here. Bring back the coaches show. Bring back... Oh, I'm kidding, of course. I'm just joshing you. 704-570-1079. 704-570-1079. You can call that or text that or shake that or whatever you want to do with that. Thanks to Liberty Buick GMC. All right. I know you are probably sick to death. That's deaf. D-E-F. You sick to death of hearing about the No Kings protest. I get it. I'm sick of hearing about it too. But I just have a little bit to throw at you from my perspective here. Now, I get that being stuck, taking so much talent like I have and then just balling it up and sticking it on the air at the end of the day when nobody's listening except 11 people. Another one of the disadvantages of that is that everybody before you has already covered all of the topics. Every now and then there's something that breaks late that I'll be the first to talk about, but rarely. And that's why they got me stuck here. They're afraid. WBT's afraid of what I will unleash onto the public and draw attention to them in the kind of way they don't want. They want everything to just be smooth and professional. They don't want to shake things up with the likes of me. No, they don't. But there are a couple of things that I need to talk about because I don't know if anybody else covered it this way. I saw a lot of clips from WCNC out there amongst all these freaks and idiots, people making fools of themselves at the quote unquote No Kings protest. And the man that they had covering it, I don't even know his name. Richard something, I think. He was so giddy to be out there in the middle of all those freaks and commies. He could barely contain himself. He was just like, "Hey, what are you doing out here? Hey, what? Oh, yeah. And your sign says what?" They're like, "No Kings, Trump sucks. Trump is terrible. Trump sucks." And you say, what? Not even the pretense of being unbiased in the situation. But that's fine. Nobody expected there to be, unless one of our people at WBT Radio is out there, you don't expect them to be non-biased, unbiased. Or I don't. But this is one of the things that stood out to me. He pulled a woman, a white woman, out of the crowd, a white liberal in Fort Mill. And she lives in Charlotte. And he asked her, "Why are you protesting in Fort Mill?" So here's what she said.
Over here, so tell us where you were.
You hear me? Come over here. Oh, you're so good. Oh, we're having such a fun time out here at the festival. Oh, all these communists, all these Marxists, all these freaks that I get the pleasure to talk to. Come here, baby.
Tell us who you are.
I'm actually from Charlotte, North Carolina. My name is Michelle.
Michelle, why come to Fort Mill for this?
Actually, it's a good group of people here, and my friends are here as well. And we're here exercising our right of freedom of speech, of a peaceful protest. We're unhappy with the current administration, and we believe in freedoms, and we're here to make sure that our voice is heard.
And every time as it's loud, because you can hear the honking, how does that make you feel?
Actually, it feels wonderful. It really does. It reinforces what I believe in right now, and that we're on the right track, making things a big change right now.
And it's so important to hold that flag up, this flag that you have, because earlier you said you don't want to hit me with it. Lady Liberty hit me in the head. That's okay. That's okay.
Right. I was trying not to.
No, you were fine. I'm just saying you're going to hold it up. You're from Charlotte, you said. Are you going to go to any more of these protests?
Yes, we're probably going to go to the next one in Charlotte. Yes, we're going to try and make a rounds today, making a couple more.
Making a couple more.
It's time for our voice to be heard right now. We're tired of what's happening, and it's time for our voice to be heard.
Now, with you being out here, what do you think that does for folks who you would say you want to gain their support or them to join you? What does being out here do?
Well, I think a lot of times in the current administration, they've maybe tried to silence us and not allowed to have a free voice of how we feel about certain things. And I think with all of us out here and making everybody understand that we do have the freedoms and we are allowed to say whatever we like to say. It's part of our constitutional right.
All right, shut up. How about that? I can tell you to shut up. I don't want to hear what you got to say. But let's go back to the very first of that. This is
so tell us where you're from, and tell us who you are.
I'm actually from Charlotte, North Carolina. My name is Michelle.
Michelle, why come to Fort Mill for this?
Actually, it's a good group of people here, and my friends are here as well. And we're here exercising our right of freedom of speech.
Why don't you be honest with the people, Michelle? Why don't you? Why don't you be honest? Why are you in Fort Mill instead of Charlotte, where you live? Why don't you just tell the people, I'm not going in the middle of uptown Charlotte where something's liable to crack off. I'm going to stay out here in white-ass Fort Mill where everything is safe and it's a good group of people out here. No. I live in Charlotte. But I don't live in the area where they're down there protesting. You never know what kind of violence or anything is going to crack off in the middle of an uptown protest in Charlotte. We may go into Charlotte and I bet you they didn't. I bet you they didn't. I bet you she didn't get close to Ibram X. Kendi, one of the dumbest people in all of the public life today. Ibram X. I'm talking about like low IQ, can't speak, just a dumbass. She didn't get near him where he was speaking. I don't blame her though. If I were going to protest and they said, hey, you want to go into uptown Charlotte? Or you want to go protest in Fort Mill? Maybe run by a brewery and, go play some cornhole out on some AstroTurf somewhere in the suburbs. I'm going to go take me to Fort Mill. See, these white liberals are transparent to me. That's how white they are. And I can say that because I'm white. Take your old to uptown Charlotte and do the same thing. Get right up in the middle. No, I'm fine. They're good people out here. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. So I have a lot more of stuff like this for the rest of the night. This is, as the kids say, the vibe I'm throwing down. So we'll get into more of this kind of stuff because I have other observations along these lines and just what causes these freaks to get together and do this sort of thing. What causes it? Now, I don't mean who puts it together. We know who puts it together, a bunch of anti-American communists. But what causes the peoples to want to join this? The psychological breakdown of these people coming up next. Hang on.
The TJ Ritchie Show is on. More next on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WBT. 11 listeners strong and holding. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on 107.9 FM. Charlotte's FM News Talk WBT.
Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am the green-eyed patriot, America's coolest conservative, acting a fool. I just heard a little promo for my show, which, here's the secret, it's not supposed to run during my show. It's supposed to run during other people's shows. So when people are listening to other people's shows, they hear the little clip from my show, and they go, you know what, I might want to listen to that. That dude sounds hilarious. But that's how badly WBT, how much they don't want to promote my show. They put my promos during my show where only people that are already listening to my show will hear it. They don't put me in the TV commercial. Then I was coming into the Big Dangerous City Saturday afternoon, because I went to a Big Dangerous Charlotte City baseball game. I went to the Charlotte Knights baseball game, and I saw a billboard on 77 South, one of those electronic billboards. I saw it. Guess who wasn't on it at all? Huh? Who you think? Take a wild guess. Who wasn't on it? How about the most famous and legendary active radio personality in Charlotte? That's who wasn't on it. I mean, they just got a advertising, just a media blitz going on, talking about being on FM now, with no mention of the most famous and legendary active radio personality in Charlotte being a part of it. Now they run my promos during my show, so nobody else will hear it. Okay, so back to the No Kangs protest. We was no Kangs. What causes these freaks to participate in stuff like this? What causes them to be like they are? First of all, everybody should know that the concept of a No Kings protest in the United States of America, and that thousands of people can show up and chant and curse our president and wish harm to him and all this stuff, that right there tells you that we don't live in a country that has a king, because the king wouldn't allow it. But be that as it may, it is a given that these people are dumb. They're stupid. Okay? And they're freaks. Now, what causes them to be dumb freaks? Because, I mean, don't you get that feeling? I had that a couple of times when I was looking on the social medias, and some people that I follow that I'm kind of friends with, and they're women, were out there at these protests, and they're taking selfies, and they're acting like they have just shown up at like the breast cancer march or walk. They're acting like this is just some big fun festival they get to go to and see their friends, and they're with their friends, and they're going, and not really having any clue what the people they're associating with are about. They don't know that these people they have joined are against America, and they want to see the fall of the United States of America. And when they get their wish, these white liberal women are going to fall first. They have no clue. They just think they're having fun, getting a chance to hit the Instagram and the TikTok with their little videos and stuff, because it's cool. Everybody's doing this in Charlotte this weekend. I'm going to go join them. And so it's that feeling, when I'm looking at that, and I think, okay, well, I knew these were liberals, and I was still friends with them no matter what. I don't think they know that I am as normal as I am on the right, being, the smart one. They don't know I'm as smart as I am, put it that way. or they would surely hate me and have blocked me and whatever else. So I think, okay, well, I knew they were liberals, but I didn't know they were stupid. That's the disappointing part. To find out that somebody you know is a liberal, because you figure they just don't really keep up with it that much. They just go by their emotions, and then they say, oh, well, they're kidnapping hardworking Mexican people who are just here to make a better life for themselves. And oh, boo hoo 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 hoo. You think they're like that, but then when they show up to one of these freak shows, then you realize they're just stupid, and then you lose respect for them. It's like, oh God, I didn't know you were stupid. I knew you were a liberal, kind of, but. So the thing that causes all, I know there are there are people there for different reasons. You got the ones that are just there because, they want to jump out and be the one yelling about transphobia. And then you got the ones who want to be yelling about racism, and you got all of them have their little causes. But what is the root cause of so many people wanting to be out in the middle of this and thinking the way they do? And I wholeheartedly believe that it is the breakdown of the positive male influence in the home. This war on masculinity, this, the government being a safety net so the men don't have to be in the house. It's what I'm always talking about, the left, the communists want to do, and that's break down the family unit. Well, a lot of this has caused it. That's why you got so many women out here talking trash, acting like men. Well, the president needs to have his head blah, 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 and cussing like crazy. Blank president, blank Trump, blank you if you don't like it. We need to get our pew-pew and put these people down. Talking like, just blowhard men, acting like men, jumping in the way of ICE agents and then getting thrown to the ground. And, all of this attitude of women being like men because they didn't have a man raising them and telling them this is where you don't need to be. This is why the president is doing this and this. This is why we go to foreign lands and blow up things. My daughter is 25, and she went to HWCU, historically white college university in Nashville called Belmont University. It's a Christian school, but it's liberal. She could have easily, without the influence of a masculine dad in the home growing up, and I know you're thinking, well, who was the masculine dad? She could have fallen in and gotten brainwashed with all this if all she had is some mom that's running around thinking that she's a man, taking on the man role in the house and all this stuff. She would have been out there, but she didn't. She had the green-eyed patriot teaching her the difference between liberalism and Marxism and all, and smart people that are conservative. That's the difference. Now, I'm not saying every, woman out there grew up without her father in the home, but I bet you a bunch of them did. And they run around, they confuse being just as good as a man. They confuse that with being exactly like a man and better at everything than men. That's what feminism has taught them. And yes, feminism has even been taught to women that you would probably think are not feminists or would never ever call themselves feminists, but that seed has been planted in them. So when you don't have a dad around, old school, to teach you how to act, you end up going to No Kings rallies, and you end up cussing out everybody, authority figures, and standing in the face of ICE agents and trying to run over an ICE agent and getting yourself killed and all of these other things. And the left just wants to do more and more. You see how far they have gotten in, let's say, in the past 40 years. How far the left has gotten into ruining the family. Now, I'm not just talking about when the welfare system was created with Lyndon Johnson in the Great Society. By getting people addicted to government, and that racist jerk who is, let's say the racist cockroach, Lyndon Johnson, decided that the Democrat Party needed to start taking advantage of black people. I'm talking about since then, even. The breakdown of the family unit and how many of these leftists have just not been taught how people should act and why the greatest nation in the history of the world operates the way it does. Basically, not having a strong masculine male influence in the home for all of these years in general has taught society to act on their emotions instead of logic. That's what it boils down to. Because, with no man in the home to say, all right, hang on a minute. Let's think of this logically. Let's weigh the pros and cons. Hold on before you run off the... Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Toughen up. Stiff upper lip, whatever they say. You have moms going, you damn right. I don't blame you. I'm bad too. I'll go get it. Blah, 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 blah. Because, women naturally are emotional, way more emotional than men. So, in other words, feminism has reached its nasty tentacles into places that you didn't even realize. And now we're left with a bunch of geeks, freaks, and weirdos marching through our cities, looking like trash, acting like trash, making fools of themselves. Okay. Maybe some more about this no Kangs coming up. I don't know. I could be moving on. I'm going to look through my notes and see if I have any other brilliant observations from the Charlotte No Kangs protest. Well, I know you're on the edge of your seat, but you just got to hang on. It's next.
The realest your radio has ever been. TJ Ritchie is on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WPT. Hear him on the radio and podcast. Watch him on YouTube. Like and subscribe to all social media platforms at tjritchie.com and WBT.com. Now, back to TJ Ritchie on 107.9 FM WBT, Charlotte's FM News Talk.
Okay. I don't even know what I'm listening to. What's going on? Unapologetic, in-your-face conservatism. We got some good texters coming in here, and the reason I say they're good texters is because they're bragging on me. I like it. This fella named Brent said, "You are exactly right, TJ." And then a cactus and a bomb. I think that's a cactus. A cacti. Or cacti. Cacti is plural, right? Either way, Brent likes what he's hearing out of me. Now, this person said, "Man, I was on the fence with you for about the first month, but you are all over it. Keep preaching it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it." Song, musical ADD. It's called Common Sense and Simple Morality, and the world's lacking a massive amount of it. The breakdown of the nuclear family in combination with no Christ equals brokenness and sadness. That's right. I forgot to mention that part. Breaking down the family unit also breaks down going to church and having faith in your life. And that's what the Marxists want most. See, because you can't be a person of faith and be a communist at the same time. So I don't know how these Islamists are going to square that when it all comes down to it. You know, like Mamdani. Now, what I think what's going to happen is, because, you know, people say, well, Muslims can't lie. Well, that's not true. They can't lie to each other. They can't lie to other Muslims. They can lie to other people, though, in order to advance the Muslim cause, to get more power over the people in order to switch them to Islam. It's called Takai, if I remember correctly. Takai, like when that cockroach mayor of New York, Mamdani, when he's out there talking about being all pro-LGBTQ and trans and tearing up because they don't have the rights that they need, and they're he's lying. Takai. He's lying because he wants them to follow him and accept him, and then all of a sudden one day he's going to just lower the boom on them like nobody's business. Whoops, sorry. So that's what happens. Let's see. There's another one up in here somewhere that I thought was really good because it was bragging on me. No, I'm kidding. Charles said he's not a king, he's your daddy. And I assume he's talking about me. No. He's talking about Brother Donald J. Trump. Now, one of the things that made the viral trip around the social medias and all was from the Charlotte No Kangs rally. It was, and they treated it like this was the most beautiful thing. The reporter, it was the same one that was, what you doing out here? Oh, what's your sign say? It was very, very middle of the road and unbiased. He interviewed this woman and her daughter. Daughter was, I think, 12. And that got picked up when, oh, look at this. Look how beautiful this is. All over the social medias. So what kind of a terrible parent do you have to be to get and encourage your kid to be involved in a communist protest of epic proportions? Standing out, holding signs, promoting a communist group. Now, well, maybe they're not all communists. Well, the whole thing was funded by communists. They've done the research on it. They've done the research. Fox News had a report on it. Who funds these things? Who funded this? A low-life communist in China. Some tech guru of some sort. And to drag your daughter out there. And the woman in her little interview said she has 2 other daughters. I'm like, well, where are they? Do they have enough sense not to listen to you and your liberal teachings and come out here and do this mess? And where is their father? That's the main thing, I think. Whenever I see these moms with their kids out doing all this liberal crap and dragging them out to these protests and stuff, I'm like, where is their dad? Now, that's not to say that they need to be with their dad, because obviously their dad's the good parent. I just want to know, where is he? Is he not involved in the kid's life? Is he a femboy, lib, weenie that's submissive to the woman? Just says, okay, take whatever, if you know best. If you want to take our daughter to a communist protest, then go do it. It's fine with me. I'll be here. I'll crack you a fresh beer for you when you get home. I know you'll be tired. Is that what the dad's all about, or is the dad just not around? And I'm not saying if the dad's not around, it's the mom's fault. I'm just saying, where is he? That's what I want to know. Why can't a reporter ever ask that? Like, to these moms who are taking their kids in to get transitioned, you always see the mom. Where's the dad? And if the dad's sitting there going along with it and saying how it's the, we noticed that she wasn't a boy at about the age of 6 months. She told us that she wasn't a boy. Then, that little weenie femboy lunatic just needs somebody to pop him in the back of his head. Just pop. Stupid ass. But it's always the moms leading these kids out there in these things. So that's what you had. You had all over America, pretty much, you had a bunch of old hippies just looking for something to do. They want attention. You had just all these normal age little white liberal women looking for attention. And then you had the full-on communists, uprisers, the ones who were uprising, like those in Portland and in L.A. that caused the violence. Those are the two cities that had violence, L.A. and Portland. Just a bunch of disgusting, dirty, nasty, uncivilized heathens. Where are their dads? And then there was that one clip that everybody was talking about where the old white woman said, the guy's like, basically saying, well, this isn't a very diverse group of protesters out here. And she was like, the black people can't, it's too dangerous for black people to be out here. They want to be out here. Trust me, they want to be, but it's too dangerous for them. The police will shoot them and they'll be the ones to get arrested. That white guilt crap. But, I just think black people didn't care about that rally. She would never admit that, though. She's like, it's for their own good. We don't want them here. We don't want them here for their own good. Like, okay. Yeah, because last I checked, black people weren't scared to protest something that they were into, like Black Lives Matter and stuff. There were a few out there then. But why are they not joining your little white communist protest out here, lady? Oh, well, because it's just too dangerous for them. We don't want them here because we're smarter than they are, and we need to make sure that they listen to us and don't come out here. They're like, okay, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do something else with my Saturday. Martha White, liberal. Oh, this is fun. All right, look, I'm late for this break, and we got the final segment of the hour coming. Look how fast that has gone by. Goodness, y'all, goodness. We'll get in it next. Hang on.
The realest your radio has ever been. TJ Ritchie is on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WPT. Welcome back to the TJ Ritchie Show on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 FM WPT.
The Green-Eyed Patriot is on the air everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. And thank you to all of the TJ Radio family members who are being participatory on the phone lines and the text lines. That number is 704-570-1079. Okay. I found this clip of a comedian. The comedian's name is Brian Torres Day. I'm guessing. Never seen him, never heard of him. And I'm going to play a clip of something that I think is pretty funny, and it's clever and a good observation that he has made. Now, if you know this man's work and he is a big lib, you don't have to text and tell, you're just promoting a big lib. I assume he is a liberal. because he's in show business. But this one little clip is pretty good. I found this on his Instagram account, and it's a clip of his stand-up act. And he's talking about the liberal women, the white liberal women. And it's clever. Check it out.
White women are out there now, dude.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, he is of Hispanic descent. I think he is Mexicano. Okay, here.
White women are out there now, dude. Y'all are like fighting federally armed agents and I mean, they're like crashing into their cars and white women, y'all stay dominating that news cycle. Y'all, everything becomes y'all at one point. I love it, dude. Right? Anything happens in the world, white women, they're like, how can I make this about me? You know? Ukraine? How can I make this about me? Swipe up. Palestine? This is about me. ICE is deporting Mexicans? I don't think so. Y'all just want to rescue your little Jose's, all right? Jose, I got you. Come here. Stay away, you ICE fascist. I got you, Jose. And he's just like, okay, ma'am, can you just tip me on the DoorDash, please? I don't want to. Please let go of me, Mildred.
Now, when you think about how many of these women that you've seen at these protests with their selfies and their videos with all of their little friend group behind them, chucking the peace sign and, they're chucking the deuce. And those are the ones that I was talking about. They're just like, they're going to a parade. Hey, are we going to the parade in Uptown Charlotte? Which parade? The No Kangs parade, girl. Yeah. Blank Trump, blank fascists. Is that what we're supposed to say? Oh, I've got to go get some poster board, and I'm going to make the cutest sign. Oh, my God, it's going to be so cute. You want to help me with it? I haven't made a sign like this since I was in college. Do you remember? You remember we used to make these in college? Remember when I was a Zeta? No. I don't even know. Is that the name of a sorority? I know Phi Mu is. I remember that one. It is? Okay, good. Yeah, it is. Look at me. Look at me. And then you got the ones who, like, I always talk about these protests as a way to get somebody to listen to whatever it is you think is your talent. You got a captive audience there, a trapped audience, and they have to listen to you banging on a drum. Or I saw this one video where this band, it's a 3-piece rock band, was in the middle of the street. So people on both sides were having to walk to and fro right beside them. So they couldn't go anywhere. They were having to listen to this stupidness. And it was the worst. I mean, let me put it this way. The lead singer of this quote unquote rock band was singing into a bullhorn, into a microphone the whole time. And you know that they've had gigs in these little dumpy bars and stuff, wherever these liberal roaches crawl to get their entertainment or whatever. And, nobody's booking them. They're trying their best to get people to listen. Nobody will listen. So they're like, all right, well, there's going to be a crowd down there at the No Kangs rally. We're playing, dude. We're playing, man. They're going to love it. Nobody was paying them any attention except kind of wincing as they walked by like, oh, that's loud. So they're seeking attention because they didn't get it growing up. They didn't get the right kind of attention growing up. Again, because they don't have dads in their lives to give them a positive influence. So what am I saying? I'm saying that the country is in the shape it's in now. It's women's fault. That's what I'm saying. 100%. No, I'm just kidding. But listen, this is some beautiful music. I think this was at the Charlotte No Kangs rally. Maybe not, but it might as well have been. Listen how beautiful.
Funding private prisons. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Why do they have to sing? That just terrible. Then let me see if I can sneak this one in here. This is the woman saying, "Leave your husband." Listen.
Ladies, this is your reminder that you're way too hot to be with your MAGA husband. So leave your MAGA husband. Leave your MAGA husband, but cheat on him first. Cheat with his brother or his best friend, whichever's worse. He doesn't deserve your It's time for you to hit the road, but leave a lasting impression before you go and cheat on your MAGA husband and take a picture while you're getting plowed. Leave your MAGA husband.
Okay. Oh, you're so smart. Now, see, if she had a dad around when she was a kid and dad would have said, "Hey, you can't act like that. Don't do that. Be a lady. Try to be a sophisticated lady and have some dignity." But she didn't have that. She probably had some old crazy mama going, "You go, girl. You go, girl. I hate men. I hate MAGA. I hate men. I hate. But yeah, just that one positive male influence. You said, "Hey, girl, that's not cool. You're making a fool of yourself, and you're running around with a trash mouth like that. Nobody's going to respect you. You have no dignity. Just cut it out. Act like you got some sense, please." All right. That was a fun hour. Hey, we got another one coming up. Hang on for that.
He's America's coolest conservative and the future king of talk radio. 107.9 FM WBT presents The TJ Ritchie Show.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, here we go. Hour dos. Mi amigas and amigos. With the most famous and legendary active radio personality in Charlotte. Thank you for being here. I'm nothing without you. Absolutely nothing. 704-570-1079. That is the number. Now, if you want to call it, that's compliments of me. Okay? Now, if you want to text, that is compliments of Liberty Buick GMC. It's the same number. I cover the calling. They cover the texting. Liberty Buick GMC does. All right. Look, I have found something that is so disturbing and so infuriating that I just can barely control myself. There is a lowlife who calls himself Mark Davis. Mark Davis. And he's running for Congress in the great state of Florida with America's best governor, Ron DeSantis. He's running for Congress, obviously as a Democrat, by the way I've described him already. This is a video on his social media where he is recording POV, meaning point of view, holding his camera, and you're seeing where he's walking and what he's seeing as he's walking. And he's going into just a regular Publix grocery store. As he gets close to the door. He yells obscenity, something about President Trump. And then a guy walking in front of him says, I voted for Trump. And then this guy yells and cusses at him and then goes into the store. All right. And just a sheer attention seeking, like I said, low life. Listen.
Publix. You think I'm around? Watch this. Keep watching. Donald Trump's a pedophile. Donald Trump's a pedophile and he's running our country.
There you go.
Go yourself. Keep watching. This is Publix in the middle of Red, Florida. Good morning, Florida! Donald Trump is a pedophile! Vote Mark Davis for Congress. We're tired of this fascist. Vote Mark Davis for Congress. Donald Trump is a pedophile and he's killing our troops. Go yourself if you voted for him.
I live in a van down by the river. That's what he sounds like. Now, what kind of a piece of crap do you have to be to walk into a grocery store where there are children and adults who don't want to hear your trash mouth? You brat. I looked up some of his information. It says he's a veteran. But be that as it may, just because you served the country doesn't mean you get to go do whatever you want to do and not be called out on it. Listen. Somebody should have whipped his ass right there in the Publix. Like multiple somebodies should have made him never, ever want to do that stunt again. Again, I'll use my hometown as an example. Mark Davis, Mr. Tough Guy. Walk into a grocery store in Winfield, Louisiana, and do that same spiel and see what happens to you. I bet you won't. I bet you won't do it. Oh, he's tough, though. Walking in there in his flip-flops. I'm surprised the guy, he didn't say, the one he said, go blank yourself in the parking lot as he was walking in. I'm surprised that guy didn't come after him. And why didn't he? And why wasn't he arrested? You can't just storm into somebody's business and cause a scene like that, cause a disturbance. This is the kind of trash that is on the Democrats' side. This is the kind of white trash in the Democrat Party. They have devolved to people like this low-life, white trash piece of crap. And look, I don't jump on here and go telling everybody to beat up somebody or whatever like that. I'm just saying, who would have not cheered for the person that put him on his act right there? Would anybody in the Publix have not cheered for that person that just knocked him senseless right there in the produce section? Come in here cussing in front of my kids, scaring my children. I snap your neck. Or pick up something and knock him in the head with it. I'm not saying that's that I want to somebody to do to this man now. But how did it not happen then? You see, That's why white trash idiots like this are emboldened to do those kinds of things. Because I'm sure he went to a safe Publix in a safe area. He did say he was in a red section of town, meaning a conservative section of town, so where the people are civilized. He didn't go into a different part of town and take his chances on there being a couple of roughneck Trump supporters out there, did he? No, he's like the lady that we started the show with, who's from Charlotte but went to Fort Mill to join the protest because something might crack off in uptown Charlotte. No, he didn't go anywhere where he thought there might be some, some redneck Trump supporters and try that. He went to probably a ritzy area where the people are not even used to seeing that kind of white trash and didn't even know how to react. I mean, but seriously, if you're going to brag on yourself for being so tough and so fearless, look at this. You think I'm not real? You think I'm not real? Yeah, go try it somewhere else where it's not as much of a sure bet that somebody's not going to beat the hell out of you. Or multiple people beat the hell out of you. Loser. I hate people like that. I mean, I really do. I know we're not supposed to hate people. Well, I'm just saying people like that. I despise. Those people hadn't done anything to him. They're just minding their business. Just in there buying groceries. And they got to look up and see this maniac, white trash idiot come in there and start screaming the F word and calling Trump a pedophile, screaming at the top of his lungs where his stupid voice is cracking. God, man, I wish somebody would have just lowered the boom on him. Teach him a lesson. You don't go do that. This world's not all about you and your stupid campaign. If anybody knows this fella or you want to send him a message on his social media or whatever, it's Mark Davis. I think it's Mark Davis for Congress. Something like that. Tell him what a piece of white trash he is. Let's see. What is it? I'm trying to find it again. It is, Mark Davis for Congress on Instagram. Mark Davis for Congress. I mean, he could be a bad, I don't know. But that shouldn't matter. He doesn't get to do that kind of stuff unopposed. Yeah. I'm sure his kids are so proud of him for doing that. Oh, yeah, Dad, you're so tough. And it really sucks that it's gotten to the point in our country where people feel comfortable doing that. And they feel like that's the way they get attention, is by going into a place where everybody in there is innocent, minding their business. And they get some bully coming in there screaming and yelling profanities, just like the disgusting, low-life, redneck white trash they are. Ugh. All right, hang on. I got to take a break. More coming up next.
TJ Ritchie on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 FM WBT. Night has fallen and the Green-Eyed Patriot is on the air. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 FM WBT.
Welcome back to the unapologetic, in-your-face conservatism. Thank you for joining me Well, actually, thank you for joining us. Because Lonnie Ray, producer, is here, as is, I guess, Andrew is there, right, Lonnie? He there helping you? Okay, good. 704-570-1079 is the phone number if you want to join the program. It is that time, ladies and gentlemen, and it has sneaked up on me. But Friday is Good Friday. And then, of course, Sunday will be Easter Sunday, our most holiest of holidays for the Christian folk. And Good Friday being the day our Lord and Savior died for our sins. And this nonsense has started again from PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. From the New York Post, animal rights activists are urging officials in both the U.S. and UK to ditch traditional Easter eggs in favor of decorated potatoes at their annual egg rolling festivities, pitching the swap as a win for both chickens and their constituents' wallets. Advocates argue that swapping eggs for potatoes would spare hens from industrial farming while offering a more sustainable and less breakable alternative for kids hurtling their holiday eggs downhill. They, meanwhile, expressed concern on behalf of customers who earlier this year faced soaring egg prices amid recent avian flu outbreaks. In a letter to First Lady Melania Trump, PETA proposed rebranding the annual White House Easter egg roll, which dates back to 1878, into a Make America Great Easter potato roll, complete with dyed spuds, sack races, and hot potato games. This is how the letter read. Quote, I'm writing with a suggestion that we believe aligns with your forward-thinking, trend-setting style, Ingrid Newkirk wrote. Now, you know good and well she doesn't think that Melania Trump is forward-thinking. She probably hates her because she's a lunatic liberal, probably. PETA's tongue-in-cheek pitch leans heavily on rising egg prices and animal welfare concerns. A message Newkirk doubled down on in an exclusive statement to the Post. Quote, egg prices are through the roof. Chickens are paying the price. And Americans are shell-shocked. Oh, you see what she did there? Shell-shocked? Because it's an egg. You got it? You get it? You don't get it. A White House potato roll would be kinder, cheaper, a boost for potato farmers, and provide a smashing good time for kids. Proof that Easter fun doesn't have to come at a hen's expense. Now, here's the thing. This is what might push it home for PETA. This might get them over the hump. In exchange for the First Lady's cooperation, Newkirk offered her a gift of a dress made from vintage Idaho potato sacks inspired by Marilyn Monroe's iconic 1951 frock. Oh, my gosh. Can you... I don't see how First Lady Melania Trump is going to be able to turn that down. To add a potato sack dress to her wardrobe, I mean, as shoddy as her wardrobe is, being able to upgrade it with a potato sack dress? Are you kidding me? I wouldn't blame her if she took that deal. Look, and I've said this before and I've gotten some flack about it. But anything that comes from PETA, normal people should say, no, get away from me. Now, that doesn't mean that I believe in being cruel to animals, because obviously I don't. But these PETA people, in my opinion, are lunatics. And to work with them on anything, I believe, is just dangerous. I would never, ever do anything PETA wanted me to do. If PETA said, change the Easter eggs at your house to potatoes, and we will give you $50,000, I would say, as much as I need 50 grand, I would say, get away from me. I don't want to catch anything you've got because I think that you are crazy. I don't want you in my house. I don't want you on my phone or in my email. You creep me out, PETA people. Not all quote unquote animal rights groups are like that. I don't feel that way about the Humane Society, but PETA is a different animal, no pun intended. And the fact that anybody has ever paid attention to what PETA says or caved to PETA in any way has empowered them, emboldened them to be what they are now. So, no thank you. But I bet, you know, as beautiful as Melania's accent is, to hear her say, go pound sand, it would just be, oh, such a gorgeous phrase. Go pound sand. Or get out of here, you freaks. Maybe that could be a more direct message. Don't ever contact me again, is what she should say. Not only are we going to continue doing Easter eggs, but if you contact me again, I am going to have you report. I'm going to report you for harassment. That's what she should say. But is it about the hardships of the chickens? It's probably about that for the foot soldiers of PETA. But I'm guessing it's not about that for the organizers and the bosses of PETA. Because what is Easter? Even though the Bible and Christ and all that doesn't have anything to do with bunnies and eggs, it's still something that Christians celebrate. And they brought in modern day or, fun with the association. As long as you don't get away from what the real meaning of Easter is as our holiest of holidays, I'm thinking that Jesus doesn't mind if we have a little bit of fun with rabbits and colorful eggs. Okay? But it's a tradition in America. It is a tradition, and a tradition for what? For families. Again, we go back to this. So I'm guessing that the PETA bosses are just trying to chip away at another American Christian tradition. Bust it all up. Who says we can't? I mean, where is it written? It's not written in the Bible that you have to have dyed Easter eggs or eggs at Easter. No, but we like it. How about that? We, people who celebrate Easter, we like it. And we want it to stay like that. So, off you go, PETA. Off you go. Hang on, more coming up.
It's the TJ Ritchie Show on 107.9 WBT, Charlotte's FM News Talk. If you're an emotionally fragile liberal and would like to complain to WBT management about TJ, don't waste your time. They don't like him much either. Back to the TJ Ritchie Show on 107.9 FM WBT, Charlotte's FM News Talk.
Yeah. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the realest your radio has ever been. Dropping the truth bombs. And they're hitting directly on the targets. 704-570-1079. That's the number. Get up in here. Come on. Come on. This is one of my favorite stories over the weekend. I laughed out loud. Ha 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 ha. I was laughing because one of the biggest clowns in all of the public eye in public office is this guy named Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell from California. He's a U.S. representative, but he is running for governor of California. And he's so stupid because he was outed a couple years ago for having an affair with a Chinese spy. But this is the way Democrats look at things. They don't care. They have no shame. Look at what's his name? Adam Dipschiff. Schiffhead. I mean, he was just completely outed as being a slime ball liar through the whole Russia collusion thing. And the January 6th committee destroying records and all to keep from being investigated and everything. I mean, just a low-life, smarmy, slimy goofball. And he still has the gall to just step out there every day in front of the camera and just keep going and going and going. Because he's a Democrat, and they have no shame. Eric Swalwell is just as bad. But Federal Bureau of Investigation, that's the FBI for those novices out there, Director Kash Patel wants officials to release investigative files regarding Representative Eric Swalwell, D, from California. Yeah, he's a big D. Loves the D. And female Chinese spy known as Christine Fang, or Fang Fang, according to the reports. Now, that's my favorite part of the story, is that her name is Fang Fang. Swalwell and Fang Fang. I don't like to picture gross Eric Swalwell in the throes of passion, but it is funny to think about him being in the throes and calling out Fang Fang. That's not an easy name to be calling out when you're being passionate. When you end up being passionate, to yell out Fang Fang. Oh, I love you. Oh, Fang Fang. Come here. You're so sexy, Fang Fang. Fang Fang. Yes, Fang Fang. The Hill on Saturday cited reports from the New York Times and the Washington Post. The news coming from Breitbart News in 2021 confirmed the U.S. intelligence community had a classified report that included, quote, intricate and intimate, end quote, details about the relationship between Swalwell and the spy Fang Fang. So you know how they traveled, from what I understand, how they would sneak off their mode of transportation. They call it the Fang bus. That's what I heard. The Hill article said FBI agents and other personnel in California have been directed to gather and redact sensitive information from the documents in preparation for sharing with senior Trump administration officials, according to the New York Times, citing 3 people familiar with the matter. The files stem from a decade-old counterintelligence probe into the Chinese woman known both as Christine Fang and Fang Fang. Oh, Fang Fang. Who reportedly helped Swalwell with fundraising and placing an intern in his office during the 2014 campaign cycle. All right, I keep saying, all right, well, so you get the gist of it, but then it gets better. According to the Breitbart article, the report it cited contained details about the pair's relationship, quote, including certain sexual acts they allegedly engaged in together, end quote. Swalwell later floated conspiracy theories regarding the outlet's report, but did not deny the intelligence documents existed. In response to the recent Post report, Swalwell claimed, quote, Donald Trump is targeting me. He's trying to influence the election. There's only one reason why. He's scared, end quote. According to The Hill, quote, the public release of files in an investigation that did not result in criminal charges would mark a highly unusual step, the Post noted. FBI leaders have also discussed sending agents to China to talk to Fang Fang because they believe she could have damaged information on the California lawmaker. The newspaper reported citing 2 people familiar with the investigation. I thought Fang Fang died. Huh. See, I had that wrong. I swear I thought I heard that Fang Fang was killed. Let me see. Is Fang Fang alive? Oh, wrong thing. Not is she a spy? Is she alive? Hang on a minute. Known for her. I don't care. I know what she's known for. Yeah, it says that if this is the same Fang Fang, which no, I don't think it's the same Fang Fang. Maybe let's do Christine Fang. How about that? Use her real name, her U.S. government name, Christine Fang. I guess so. It says was a Chinese spy. I don't know. I have to take the break, figure it out. Or if anybody knows, how about that? So keep me from having to do the work. Text me if you notice the answer to this question. Is Fang Fang still alive? Eric Swalwell's Sweet Fang. Come here, Sweet Fang. Where you going, Sweet Fang? Come here, let me tell you some secrets. Fang Fang. All right, so we'll see what we can find out. And I would really seriously appreciate it if you just do the work for me and let me know so I don't have to keep searching, juggling stuff. All right, we'll see what we can come up with next. Hang on.
The realest your radio has ever been. TJ Ritchie is on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 WPT. He is Charlotte's most charmed and dangerous, always speaking the truth. Whether you like it or not, it's TJ Ritchie on Charlotte's FM News Talk 107.9 FM WPT.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I hate that this is the last segment of the show. I'm having fun tonight. I usually hate doing this, but tonight has been quite enjoyable. I'm kidding, of course. I love doing it. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I have another show that I do. So I do 2 jobs. I do a syndicated morning show every day called the TJ and Riggins Show, and then I do this one called The Greatest Talk Radio Show in America. But I don't call it that. The smartest people in the business call it that. I don't know. I don't know whether it is or not, but I trust their opinion. So, only thing I'm finding out about Fang Fang, the spy that everybody says, a bunch of people say Eric Swalwell was intimate with and shared secrets with. Since she went back to China in 2015. I knew that, but so I'll just assume she went back to China in 2015, and the communist Chinese leaders probably had her offed. That's what I'm guessing, because they're evil, and that's just an easy way to close the subject on the show since we're at the end of the show. But I wanted to make sure and let you know about this. There's something, just a travesty going on. Discrimination of epic proportions. Actor Billy Porter says work is drying up for black and queer artists in President Trump's America. Bizarrely claiming fascists in the United States are, quote unquote, attacking the arts. This is from Breitbart. This is, he was quoted here, Billy Porter. If you don't know who Billy Porter is, he is an actor, and he played in the Hunger Games, and I'm pretty sure he played the fairy godmother in the latest Cinderella movie. Yes. He said, quote, authoritarian governments go after the arts first, because the arts have the power to reach inside of people and change the molecular structure from the inside out. He joined an anti-Trump No Kangs rally at the Kennedy Center in D.C. Saturday, and that's what he told the good Reverend Al Sharpton, His Holiness Al Sharpton, Reverend Al, on MS Now's Politics Nation. The Cinderella star went on to claim that artists having this type of power, quote, is dangerous for fascists, and they know it, and that's why they attack us first. An ironic sentiment, given that protesting one's government is not an option while living under an actual fascist regime. So what this boils down to, I'm guessing, is, let's see. There's another quote in here. Hold on, it just caught my eye. As a black gay out artist, I caught the wave of what we now know as performative wokeness. I caught the wave of being in the center of that very progressive space, and I crashed through glass ceilings that were concrete. Oh, God. These people are so self-absorbed. And by these people, I mean these Hollywood liberals. Let me tell you something. Billy Porter is not just a black queer performer. He is a clown. He is so over the top. Almost, you know how drag queens are so overboard with everything? They're not really trying to just pass themselves off as women. They're performing in these elaborate costumes with the clownish makeup and the gaudy outfits, and they're just so over the top. They're not like they don't want you to look at them and go, oh, that's a woman. They want you to look at them and go, wow, look at that. Look at that costume. Look at that. Blah, blah, look at it in your face. Blah, blah, blah. That's what kind of a personality and a kind of attitude this Billy Porter has, just without all of the drag queen makeup and stuff. He acts with the same attitude and the same personality as a drag queen, but not in drag. He's that over the top, that animated. And so people just, maybe they don't have roles in their movies for that over the top type animated performer, like Cinderella's fairy godmother. You are a man and you got the part of Cinderella's godmother. I think I would never, ever, ever have watched the new live action Cinderella, but I'm pretty sure that's the part that he played. And it was groundbreaking, you know. But he can't just chalk it up to, okay, well, maybe my style of performing, maybe that's just not what sells anymore. Maybe that's just a trend that's gone. Can't take responsibility for that. Or you can't stop and go, well, maybe I need to dial it down a little bit. If I want to play just the part of a normal gay character, I need to back it down a little bit. No. It's everybody else's fault. It's racism. It's anti-queer. It's fascism. It's all this stuff. I'm not getting what I want. Now, you had to know that this was going to come up at some point tonight because I always bring it up. This is what pandering gets you. He was pandered to and given these roles because he's so over the top and so animated and so ultra in your face with the flamboyance and all this. He was given roles because of that. And now that people may not want that in their movies or their TV shows because he was pandered to and made to believe that he was special and that he was a cut above everybody else. Now, when those parts aren't there, he wants to blame fascist Trump and racism and all this other stuff. Instead of just coming to grips with the fact that, okay, well, that was a good ride while it lasted. How do I adjust my craft to move into what is popular now? Can't do that. I got to stay the same, and everybody else needs to continue to pander to me and make roles for me. And if they don't, then it's their fault, not mine. And all of that comes because they have all these different niche groups in Hollywood have been pandered to. It's like, well, people don't want that anymore. And just the idea that Hollywood is now anti-gay and anti-black is laughable. But he's not calling Hollywood racist. He's calling Donald Trump. Donald Trump has turned all of the fascists against him. Not Hollywood has changed. All of his liberal leftist lunatic buddies in Hollywood that make the movies and write the movies, it's not their fault. It's Trump's fault. It's MAGA's fault. It's all these racist white people. And then, of course, that nut job Al Sharpton sits there and nods along with him. Yeah. Like I said, it's laughable to me. Get out of here. Shut up. Gone away from here. Nick Craig is up next. God loves you and ain't nothing you can do about it. Talk to you tomorrow.